Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I've got another fantastic find. This glorious sort of, is it an attaché case? I'm not sure what you call it, but it is actually fantastic. It's crocodile skin. I bought it, found it purely by chance, and I assumed and bought it on the assumption this was fake, with the smallest glimmer of hope that it turned out to be real. And it's genuine skin. There's no mistaking, it's 100% genuine. But I paid very, very, very little for it. Sort of small enough sum that if it was what I thought and it was fake, I just wouldn't have bothered with it. But it's turned out to be genuine skin. The skins are fantastic. It's filthy and it's a bit dry. And the stitching, as is always the case with these things, because it is sort of, it's pre-1920, the stitching's failing. So I'll unpick all of the stitching, all of it, because it's failing. And some of the skins, actually the main skins are pretty good actually, they're very good. But I'll strengthen the skins. I'll take the lining out and I'll put chamois leather on the back with glue, strengthen, reinforce them. But we look at the stitching here, look, it's just rotten. It won't last 5 minutes if I try to use it like this. Excuse me. The skins have separated here, but that's an easy job because it hasn't actually lost any skin. So if I take these little straps off, unpick all the stitching, it does have a lining, and I'll put the crocodile skin, I'll glue the crocodile to chamois leather, and then I'll put the original lining back in and restitch it, and you won't really notice any of these cracks. It will, there's no loss of skin. It looked in the photographs like skin was lost. I think it looked a bit like this, and I thought I'd have to replace this skin if it turned out to be real. But truthfully, there was probably, I gave this a 10% chance of being real, genuine skin, 90% chance of it being embossed. Now the handle's a bit fragile, but I will take the handle off, take it off the actual case, dismantle it, reinforce it from behind, and restitch the whole thing. And it's just fantastic. I've got a few of these, and I've got another one. In fact, it's over there. It's hornback. That one needs quite a lot more work, and I've just never finished it. The handle's missing. But this is just lovely. It's bigger, it's more usable. And I've got another one very similar to this. It's a little bit smaller, probably an inch smaller, but it's very delicate. This is a very tough skin. These are huge scales. This would have come off a creature really quite large, at least 40 or 50 years old, with very thick hide, and it's tough, it's robust. The other one I've got is very, very delicate. It's the one I got about a year ago. It came from Russia. Skins are in magnificent condition, but all the stitching's failing. But it's much, much finer stitching. It won't be as tough as this one. This one's going to be quite tough. And quite honestly, I'll use it as a daily, and I'll put the thing over the handlebars, leave it, just push it over the handlebars on my bike, and I'll ride it, and it'll be flapping about, and it'll be clipping the front mudguard, and it doesn't really matter. This is a tough old thing, and it'll be fine. The other one, which I've started to dismantle, but I've not actually restored, I wouldn't be able to treat it that way. The skins are they're not fragile, but they are delicate. It's a finer skin, much thinner. It doesn't have this immense depth. The scales are much smaller. It would have come from a more, not a juvenile a crocodile, but a younger. And it's a more expensive skin, the other bag, but it's more for dressy and carrying. It's not for sort of thrown about and just sort of treating hardly, actually, which is what this is going to get. I'll dismantle it. Let's have a look. It's anywhere where it's separate. Yeah, actually there, look. Skins are separated a little bit there, but all the skin's still with us. We haven't lost any. I won't have to transplant any scales from anywhere else, but I do need to get to the back of these skins to glue the whole thing to chamois leather and then reassemble it. The chamois leather, of course, will be hidden. The lining will hide the chamois. It'll be sandwiched, and it's very, very thin. The type of leather you use to wash a car. It's perfect. It's very floppy. It's very stable. It's extremely floppy. It's got very fine grain, and it whichever way you pull it, it doesn't really stretch. It's stable in every direction. It's very thin, so you won't know it's there, but it will give this bag enormous sort of integrity and strength, and where it's all sort of curled over, I'll be able to sort of be able to just I was going to say strengthening it. Yeah, I will be strengthening it, but just reshaping it and giving it structural integrity that would last permanently. And it would take a lot of feeding this when eventually, you know, I won't do anything other than pick the stitching out and re-stitch it and glue to the back. I'm not going to clean it until it's completely stable. I'll be cleaning it intensively with alcohol, but that'll be some weeks to come. And obviously clean up all this silver bit here. I'm really pleased, really pleased. It was ludicrously cheap, just a punt, quite frankly, that I expected to be a punt that would have just got thrown into a drawer somewhere and not bothered with, because if it's fake, it's definitely not worth the trouble that I'm going to go to. But for a genuine one that is actually going to be robust and usable, I'm really pleased. My other one, it's so elegant, it's so fine and just wonderful quality, but not the type of quality that you'd be hanging from the handlebars on your bike. These skins will get knocked about, but they won't rip to shreds. The other one, it's because it's delicate, it's a more refined, more expensive piece. As I say to you, it would just fall apart very quickly if I were to be neglecting it. And I've just not been motivated to spend hundreds of hours restoring it, knowing that I'm not going to be able to use it daily. But this one, I feel rather differently. Really very pleased. What a find.